get started. And
Perfect.
okay,
I updated and label all the issues, and yeah, we can just go through them.
yeah, cool. Okay, let's go through them. So what have we got in Communitas for this sprint? So the next 2 weeks. Basically, it's this week and the week where the vote happens, and then the week following that.
Yeah, so the one that I didn't create because I just thought about it was about communicating to hatchers the result of the vote. I think that is important for us as a last outreach to them. That's what I will have. That is what I will do. That issue is not created because I just thought about it. But yeah, that one and the
I
guides.
might also want to say, I just
Yeah,
want to add that we're going to be announcing the TEC token is live. I just want to, start thinking about, are our guides in place? Is everyone ready to maybe have a deluge of new interested parties hitting our Discord? I think Communitas is going to be crucial in sort of like having the foundational ready so that the week of, it's either, I guess, the 24th or 28th, where we'll announce the bonding curve goes live and the TEC token is available, you're probably going to see a huge spike in our Discord user base. Maybe I propose we add some
perfect.
thinking
Yeah,
around that to our weekly call on Monday.
perfect.
Cool.
I will add it to the agenda.
Okay, so what are we thinking we're taking into this sprint?
Finishing the process for guides. I think that's one of the priorities I had in mind. I lay out the process on the GitHub issues of training guides. It's in the latest comment.
I don't know why I'm not finding it. Let me just. Oh, thanks. I'm trying to do not baseball caps. Okay, cool. And how is that going? That's going well with Manu and Jean?
Yeah, I think we still need some tweaking and some more practices on certain stuff, but it's getting there. And yeah, so yeah, I think I think it will work.
Okay, cool. All right. Anything else?
Besides that, I added a note to the making Send Hub friendly for contributors regarding translator issue that we had with it's not an issue, it's a translator situation that we had with Shui. If we can talk about it and find a way to, because there's a few people who has reached out to me asking for being a translator. So I send them over Shui, and it seems we have an overflow of potential translators. So yeah, I wanted to just don't forget it, so I noted on the GitHub issue.
Okay, so this is for translate. Wait, hold on. Which one? Which issue is that?
I added to the making Send Hub friendly for contributors with more for contributors issues.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How's that going, the translation, Chewy?
It's going good. It's getting there. But to be honest, like there have been like some raised issues that I think are very valid. And the thing is that once like we open up so that everyone can contribute, translations are always like a big part of it. But unfortunately, there are also many like bad actors in the space, and Escanore has been like providing a lot of feedback with this because for the past year and a half, he's worked with one hype on their translation, and he just gets like, like sometimes like unknown people to the community will just like claim a bounty and run it through Google Translate, maybe tweak it a little bit, wait for 3 days, and then submit it as if something that they translated. And I find this very risky, especially considering the cultural build in the TEC. So I know it might be a little bit controversial in some way, but for translators specifically, we are asking for people to be integrated for at least like 3 months with the TEC and with the culture, and have like some kind of recognition and follow up from stewards. This is something that doesn't really happen with other stuff, but with translations, it's just like an extra measure that we've been taking. And yeah, I mean, it's also probably the wrong wording, but this has proved to be an effective filter for people that are just like hunting translation bounties and that don't really have like any intentions for integrating with the community. And yeah, so yeah, we are not even like being strict with this, but at least we are asking them for a previous translation experience and just some previous work that we can check. And yeah, so we're trying to make it easy, but at the same time, we are trying to take some extra measures so that we can have quality translations, not just like Google translated and then tweaked a little bit. So we are also paying on the standard, which is 11 cents per word. We are doing this for all languages. So we are trying to be fair for people that are going to be contributing to this, but at the same time, we are trying to be very, very picky on who these people are and how they relate to the community.
Yeah, I think we introduced a new problem by introducing the bounties. So I hope that we can move forward where we have a translation services that you're leading that maybe selects specific things and works under this. There's a bounty and there's this 3-month, period that you have to be involved with the TEC, but we don't block people who have intrinsic motivation to donate their skill set, which happens to be translation, and that we keep one of those issues open. That's like, here's 5 articles. You're new to the TEC, you want to do something, another language, just intrinsic motivation, unpaid, not a bounty. This is a donation to the TEC to learn about the TEC and to learn about token engineering commons. So I hope we keep these 2 systems in place so that we don't block people from translating. We're not trying to gatekeep that, but that there's certain things that, as you said, we would want to maintain a high quality, but that people who have that skill and can execute like that still has the opportunity to do that without any barriers. Does that make sense, Chewy?
Yeah, like I mean, it's not about like putting like obstacles. I don't think that's definitely like the way, but yeah, I mean, if people like, hey, I want to like translate this, and it's like, okay, so maybe like attend the meeting and like sync with the team. And if people can't really like get past that, I just feel that it's like already like saying something. So yeah, I'll try to be thinking with all of the stewards on this, because I really don't want this to fall in unfair circumstances or exclusive kind of like decisions. But yeah, we are concerned, especially because I think it's like the most like solicited kind of contribution or bounty, and we really feel that we should aim for quality translation. So Sorry, Tim.
I just want to say, I also think people that come and want to do it and aren't expecting a bounty for it because they want to do it because they want to learn, because they want to contribute, are probably going to do the best quality, other than like paid translation services, like people who do that for a living. So, you know, I like the idea of like having these both going. Like maybe we're just anyone who wants it. Here's 5 articles. Anyone, any language, no rule, like no constraints there. And then there's also this translation services where they have more stories and, you know, maybe content from maybe a Twitter channel and can do other kind of translation services outside of these few articles that are selected for the intrinsically motivated. Maybe that's sort of like we can have that dual system so that, you know, if people want to start a new Twitter channel in, I don't know, Spanish or Portuguese or Russian, like there's like some quality control that the TEC maintains over that. But if somebody just wants to translate an article into Russian, they could do it tonight. They don't have to wait for a meeting. They don't have to wait to ask somebody if it's okay for them to do it. You know, it's just like there's this thing, come, pick it up, do it, submit it, and it's done, you know?
Okay, so for next Monday, we are going to be reviewing like the index that translators have prepared so far. Would everyone here agree that maybe there are some evergreen content that we could submit in this way, just like something free that people can just like go ahead and translate without a specific bounty, and it might be like a good first step for the more like technical translations, but would everybody agree on maybe doing it this way, like evergreen content for starters and then more technical content for just more advanced translators?
Yeah, I think it would be really helpful. And I think at the same time, it is a nice kind of, I don't want to say entry barrier, but it's like a nice way to sort of see commitments of people's time. The issue that I was having with this, and the reason why I brought this up, is because I had a few contributors wanting to translate to Chinese or wanting to translate to other languages, and I was like, I don't know how to handle this if it goes to translation team or you can do it by yourself. So I think this has clarified a lot of my questions regarding this, and I think having this 5 articles or 2 or 3 articles that you have to translate first before doing the other one is really helpful.
I think
It's also kind of like a little nibble, like, hey, you want to translate? So here's a few things you could translate. Also, we have a whole translation team and they offer bounties. You know, this you get rewarded in praise for these self-intrinsically motivated people who might want to do it tonight. And if you still want to continue, then liaise with the translation team who has a bigger project that they have bigger ambitions. Sorry, Zep, you were going?
Yeah.
I was just going to say, like, I have one concern regarding like languages like we do not know. Like, imagine like someone translates something with Chinese and says, I don't know, whatever, that we don't even understand what they're saying there. And I don't know, they can't even say like this is sucks, right? And we don't even know what they're saying because we don't have any expertise. So I would be very careful with languages that we do not know.
Yeah, the way we're trying to approach that is having 2 translators per language. So yeah, it's one of the things that we're doing for languages that we don't really dominate in the TEC already. But for example, like if we have like a Portuguese translation, we are considering like maybe asking Livy, like, hey Livy, like when are you ready? Like, do you think you could like review this? And we are also considering reviews by stewards that speak other languages. But yeah, the way these by the way are also handled by 2 translators. But yeah, for those languages that we don't speak, we are also assigning 2 translators and just trying to have like people of confidence to the community that we can ask for maybe like peer reviewing or any kind of feedback after they deliver.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very good point, Zep. And I think that it's easily solved by just saying, hey, somebody who speaks the same language, can you take a look at this? Does this say something other than what we expect? And it's not like there's going to be like 10 a day and it's a lot of work. It's like once, you know, once a week would seem like a lot, actually. So in different languages, I don't think we would have a problem finding a reviewer for articles that were submitted. And maybe that's like, before we publish this somewhere, we can have it reviewed. Or promote it, you know, or do something with the article that's been translated. We have a process to review it. And there is this issue already. It's 904, the evergreen articles for the TEC. There's two articles. That was the Token Engineering Commons Analysis of Stakeholders. So it's the Sherman's article and then the Engineering Ethics in Web3, so Zargum's article. And, you know, the idea that somebody can come and do this tonight and submit it as a gesture of like a donation, you know, to the TEC or a contribution to the TEC and get rewarded in praise. It's super clear that that's what's happening. And maybe if you want to, we can add some language in this article around, I mean, in this issue around how to reach out to the translation team if you want to do more and receive bounties for the translation work. And that sort of will funnel people into the translation team for you.
Yes, and also with teamwork, this would be something pretty easy to do, and also transparent. Like if it's up to contributors expecting some kind of compensation for this, we could definitely implement it, and always keep just one or two articles under our sleeve that we can give out for people that are interested, and just not be like so attached to like the quality control side of it. So. Yeah, I agree with everyone. Thanks for this. We were a little bit nervous about taking tough decisions, but yeah, this works and also gives a chance to everyone.
Cool. All right, back to you, Edu.
Yeah, sorry. Yes. The next thing that I did, is a Calendly for orientation. I created Calendly with its issue number 1001.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
So I did that, and I added a comment that I think it could be nice that every guide will have their own, because having a sync calendar with all the guides' timing could be a little bit tricky. So I think it's better to adjust to each individual person's timings. So I created a template. I added the description to the meeting. And today, so for example, if you click on it, you will see the topics that will be or are able to be covered during the meeting. So if the guides have limited knowledge on certain of these points, they can say, oh, I'm not gonna add this to my description because I'm not feel comfortable filling people out on this topic.
Okay. Yeah, let's move on to the planning. Sorry, I have some thoughts, but maybe we just move on to the planning because it's not the priority.
Sure.
I think we might be able to get one calendar for everyone, but maybe we think that through later.
Yeah. And then, yeah, the 1147, I put it that it's close to be a guy later on.
1147, assign a buddy for new contributors.
Yes, I put it that it should be paired after the process of the guides are ready. It could be nice to start implementing that process with them.
Okay, cool. Other things over these 2 weeks?
Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry.
I think, Nate, you are doing this, reimagining Medium. I don't know if this is something that we would say is ongoing.
Yeah, it's recurring. Yeah. We can keep it in the sprint.
Okay, cool. And then
for the next 2 weeks, besides these two communications that you mentioned regarding the launch of the token and the results of the voting, I cannot think of anything else that we need to sort of cover besides the guides and the survey update that we talk about, updating, making the survey bot part of the validation bot, so people can click on and get the survey if they didn't receive it, because we are missing that, the manual click on the survey bot.
Manual click of the survey. Okay, got it. And then maybe it's like
we are also.
Go ahead.
Sorry, MS part on the life cycle.
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of things in here that that I don't see. So I wonder if it's just a matter of us cleaning and creating some new issues in here. I added preparing for the deluge because honestly, I feel like then these next 2 weeks, preparations for the launch of the TEC token and making sure that the guides and our processes are robust so that we don't end up, I don't know, chasing our tails a little bit or just being very reactive to what's happening. So I actually think that's probably our main focus for the sprint, if you think so too.
Yeah, for sure. Makes sense.
Cool. All right, cool. And then there's a bunch of repeating. This is yours, Zap. Oh, this is transparency too. That's why. Okay, the orientation call. I don't think Manu did the working group wiki update, but maybe we didn't have a sprint last week, so that's why. Scanning new members and reaching out to them. Okay, okay, cool. Who wants to go next? And Eduardo, I know you have to go, so have a great, great weekend.
Thank you so much.
I can go, Tam.
Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah, I am creating a new issue, but I will open SendHub board in other tab so that perfect. Sorry. Okay, so the issue that says regain momentum in gravity coordination calls. I think it's good to have this sprint, and I updated it because we have like a tentative schedule that the funding proposal will be posted in the forum by the 11th of January, and we will open applications to the roles of until the 20th of January, and then we will have a review process for the applications. And I will ask support from some of the TEC stewards to have like a review process and like more or less a selection process until the 25th of January, 5th of January. And between the 25th of January and the 28th of January, our idea is to share like that with the Gravity Working Group and to have feedback to see like if everybody feels comfortable with the roles and the distribution, and to have like this collaborative design of the structure, so that we aspire to propose the gravity funding proposal on conviction voting by the 30th of January or the first days of February, according to the dates that Griff shared on the community call. And that's the same with the gravity funding proposal, gravity working group funding proposal. There's like this final document that we will review on Tuesday to post in the forum. Also, on the side of continue delivering the Graviton trainings, we have like the list of Gravitons from 2021, but we haven't sent the last POAP. This is something that it's a small thing, but needs to be done. Also, Durgadas and I had a call where we made a roadmap for gravity, a 1-year roadmap, and we divided it in phases. So I am gonna share the screen just to show it. And the idea is to be able to then communicate this and to have like more feedback on this, like phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 1-year roadmap, where the idea is like these 2 phases are funded with proposals to the TEC or other DAOs, and this phase 3 we also want to have like our own token design, so it will be really cool. We aspire that, so we have like a long-term gravity roadmap, but it needs to be shared. And
Yeah.
also
Why
we
don't
need
we
to
go over that in the Stewart? Can we go over that in more detail in the Stewart's call next week? Can I put that on the agenda? Because I'd love to see more. I think, but I also think all the stewards would love to know more about it. So maybe we just carve some time there.
Yeah, for sure. And also this Make a Graviton get together, also to share the application on the roles, because one of the things that we are doing is that we are designing like a Google form to allow all the gravitons to propose themselves, and there we can also ask and solve how does people feel better contributing, because there's been this thing of like not all gravitons want to be actual mediators, and maybe in that meeting and through this coordination, like we can have more clarity on who does what, and to make everyone feel comfortable with their contribution.
Thanks, Blanca.
Yeah, and on the backlog, this outreach to other communities, and Forest from Giveth is helping on the implementation and leading the conflict management side on that community, and I have been making follow ups with her like once a month or twice, but yeah.
Cool. All right, excellent. Thanks. So who would like to go next after Gravity?
I can take it. It's pretty short,
All right.
transparency.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically we get done with the transparency flows and the proposal, and actually this sprint we're probably going to do the update the Discord and Medium analysis, and then there's one thing actually I would like to discuss here, like in the processes when we created this giving credentials to other people, we type like we need like anonymous from the stewards, but we didn't type what happens if we don't like if it happens yesterday, like one steward blocked access from one contributor, and then yeah, the thing is what I just in my head right now is like maybe like what we could do is like the person who said no says why not, and then we vote again. But yeah, I just made an issue to get that done like by early next week, finalize giving credentials process. But I mean, I would like to, if what I just say it makes sense, like some quick advice process here, because when I type it into the forums, normally it doesn't get any feedback. So yeah, if we can get some quick feedback now, it would be great.
I think the vote that you do is great, and then if someone votes no, like they should DM you basically and tell you why, and then discuss it with them.
Maybe I just want to add one thing. In order for me to have I don't always feel like I have full context. I think that these proposals for credentials could look a little more like, not like a full proposal, but we're requesting X for Y for Z reason. Like what's the reason we're requesting access? And I feel like maybe that will also prevent some no votes because maybe they don't understand. I didn't vote in either of them, and I apologize for that. But I also felt like now I have to go ask Chewy, hey, why does this, and I felt like to make a vote, I had to try to figure out the context of what was being asked for. So I think we could make the credentials thing a little stronger too by specifying the reason.
Okay.
And then I like the idea of sort of then, the person who says no should explain why. Yeah, for sure.
But in public,
maybe it's a mistake or a misunderstanding.
But they should say publicly in the stewards chat or just DM me. I like more the idea of being public, but I mean, I could also understand like not being it too.
I lean towards the steward's chat because it makes you not the arbiter of the decision.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course. That's what I was thinking too.
So I think probably somebody should say no, and here's why. Yeah, I don't know how we want to make that a process, but that does seem fair.
Okay, I'll make a quick after we end transparency on the vote, and we say like if private DM or public DM, and then we vote there, just to us, and whatever we say there is that. And then I'll just finalize the forum thread, and I think we good to go. Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
And yeah, I think that's it for this week. Actually, like yeah, those analysis. This I'm working on but it's not transparency. But I now that Christopher showed the demo, I can just pull out the pictures and finalize the quantifiers role on the forum. It's on the rewards.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, let's we could jump to that one too with Livia here. I just want the transparency survey. Is this still going? This is done?
Not really. I mean, I will listen to your feedback, and maybe she's trying to push on a forum post instead of a survey.
Okay. I guess it's just not a huge. It's not a priority.
Yeah,
no,
not at all.
All right, cool. And this is for this sprint. Okay, cool.
Thank you, Tom.
These two analytics, are these happening every sprint still? Oh, it says monthly.
Yeah.
They
are going to happen. This sprint, both are going to happen.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Should we jump into rewards?
Maybe I can help there. Christopher, not here.
There's just this one, add rewards working group manifesto to the Git book and to the community call slides.
It's in the slides, but I forgot to add to the Git book. Let me do it right now.
Is there anything else for this that we need that's coming into here, or should I sync with Christopher, or we sync with Christopher about this?
There's the first quantification happening this week. I mean, next week. That it's there, yeah. Trial run.
Oh, cool.
And create onboarding process for quantifiers. Mitch was working on that. I don't know what is the status, but I think it's almost ready. It's also, I think it's explained in the post I made too a while ago, but I'll sync with Mitch to see how that's going. And configure source grand. This also has to happen in this sprint, configuring source grand. I think you can put Mateo's handle there.
Okay.
He's owning it. And then...
Whoops. Oh, what did I do? Whoops. Okay.
Recruit quantifiers for quant, and that can be closed.
Oh, have we hit our target?
Yeah, Mitch was owning it, so maybe you want to put his name there. There can always be more quantifiers, but at least we have at least 30 for this first one.
Great.
I'd sure like to know what's involved in that. Maybe somebody can talk to me about that offline.
Did you say something, Dargados? I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying I'd sure like to know what the deal is with the quantifiers. Maybe somebody can explain that to me offline, or I can look at something.
Oh, cool. I can tag you in the in
Okay.
the thread that we're talking about it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. I think the pollen bot is not going to be for this print.
Okay.
And
1101 is happening this sprint, for sure. Like
which one?
Scroll up, 1101. Yeah, this one. This is happening. It's almost done.
Oh, cool. Awesome. I think this is mostly it for this print. And there's probably some stuff from the front end and back end that might be in another repo. I don't know.
Cool. Yeah, I'll just put that in the product backlog. Cool. Okay. Just Chewy, I just drew it for some reason. I was like, oh, this is in the icebox. The animated tutorial for quantifiers was in the icebox. I know it's not getting done this sprint for sure, and maybe that's why you put it in the icebox. But is it something that is like 6 months from now, or something that's like eventually, in the coming weeks, we would want to pull into a sprint?
I would say that it's most likely going to be the first project for the animation and video production team. So yeah, it's going to be like our pilot to get familiar with the production process.
Okay, cool. That's great. So then I'll leave it in the product backlog so that it's sort of on the forefront of people's mind when we see it. The icebox is kind of like, put it in the freezer and look at it again in 3 months or 6 months. Like that, the icebox is really like long time from now. So like when people, I almost like just leave it closed. So I don't even look at it.
Okay, yeah, definitely we can put it in the product backlog, and it's I think in the last sprint planning we didn't really have like an idea of where everything was going, but I feel that by now we can start considering this in the near future. So yeah.
Cool. Okay, maybe is there anything else left for reward system? Shall we move on?
I have a question that I'd like to insert at some point, but I just don't know when.
Sure, let's do it now.
I do wonder, since we're going through a large number of transitions and there's a lot of pressure and so on, just wanted to maybe remind everybody that gravity's here, for you guys, and that's, what we're here for. And so I know, for example, teams going through a transition, there's a lot of different teams, people are negotiating, and there's some things. So just trying to be mindful of the fact that there's a fair amount of pressure and things, popping off at this moment. So just trying to remind people, about us and that we're here to try to help if there are struggles along that way. So thanks.
Cool. Thanks for that, Durgadas. Okay. All right. Who would like to go next? What do we have? Chewy, are you up for going with comms? Are you using DWork?
I'm almost done.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. What was that? What was that, Tim?
I was just wondering, have you guys started using DWork? Do you want to share that and sort of use that as how you're sharing coordination? Yeah,
I'm actually finishing the issue with what's needed to finish setting it up. So
okay,
yeah, it's just I'm almost ready.
Okay. How about you, Livia? Are you up for doing SoftGov? Almost ready? We'll move to legal.
Can I just say something about DWork? I was contacted by the guy who started it, and he was asking about what we needed and so on. I told him we needed, weekly or monthly payouts, and he was like, "We're working on it." So, just so I've got a bit of a direct line with him. So if folks wanna, I don't know if other people have been contacted by him, but I just wanted to let you guys know that.
What's his name? Who is he?
Sorry, I have to look in the
Lonis?
DMs. Yeah, Lonis. Yeah,
Lonis.eth. Yeah.
Lonis.eth. Yeah. So I don't know if he contacted you as well, but
Yeah.
LONUS.eth.
LONIS.eth. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I've been also in a lot of contact with him. Actually, Durgadas, I'm gonna share with you the document where I'm just throwing in like some notes and feedback for the platform. He's
Sure.
like super quick to reply. Like he usually fixes everything in 2 hours. It's just really impressive. I'll share with you that document to just have you in the loop of some of the suggestions that we've been giving.
Yeah, and I think I might also be the recipient of a bounty here through that DWork pretty soon. So I just I'll have more feedback once I've been through that process as well. So.
Oh, very cool. Good to know. Chuy, can you loop me into? I'm super curious. I don't have so much bandwidth to do much, so I'm so glad that you're really moving this forward. But I'd be very curious to sort of understand the capabilities, the strengths, and a little more about it as well.
Sure, Tim. Yeah, sorry that I haven't been able to do the demo for all of the stewards in a more formal way. It's just that I'm almost done with my laptop. It's almost back to life, and I haven't synced my main Ethereum account with this computer. So yeah, that's what I'm having. That's why I'm having trouble like logging in. But basically, it's like as if this NHub board have integration with MetaMask and NoseSafe and Discord. So let's say that we have just an issue with for communications, like get the DWork platform to work. So the Discord bot would be sending a notification to every communications related group in Discord for any like status changes that there are on these issues. And also, like let's say that one of these is a bounty, you can have the amount and where the source of the payment is coming. So let's say that you point it at a NoseSafe that the team controls. So you can submit a bounty and assign like a specific amount. And once it gets to the done or closed, what would be the closed issue column, it automatically submits the transaction to the NoseSafe. So it pretty much like saves all of the follow through until everyone has to sign, so that people can get paid for the bounties or whatever recurring activity they are doing. So it's like a bunch of tools that we already use, but it's like integrating everything in one. And what I feel like, what also gave me a lot of confidence, it's precisely Lonis being so much in contact and being able to fix like some stuff. Like I originally gave him some feedback on roles, like administrator roles and contributor roles, and they implemented that in like a day. So that stuff has been just like falling into its place really well. And but yeah, it's basically like ZenHub with just with more integration.
Juanca, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, that I could share screen for Chuy if he wants.
Yeah, I don't want us to do a demo now, if that's okay. I'm happy for us to do that in the stewards channel. I want to move forward with the sprint planning.
Perfect.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it does sound very cool. I did look at the demo as soon as you shared it with me, and I mean not the DWork demo that they have on DWork, and I mean it looks very interesting. So I'm super compelled to see the results actually after one or two groups start using it and sort of see how it it works out. But definitely incredibly promising. So it's still on the agenda for the next stewards channel, for the next stewards call, by the way, is to have a closer look at that. Should we move on to legal then? Unless there's anything else to say about DWork before we move on from it. Okay. And then I did legal, it's just the A, B, and C, right? And that's waiting for, well, that'll be done next sprint. How exciting. The one blocking issue in legal. Is there anything else, Griff? I think you're the one
I mean,
paying
I
attention.
think it's basically able to be closed. I mean, the only thing it's waiting for is the final parameters. And so it's like there's nothing that we can do. It's done, except we have to get the results of the vote.
Yeah, definitely. Which will happen next week.
Yeah.
Is there anything else from legal? That's it, right?
I mean, I didn't add anything to it, but it's all there. There's I think, add for the sprint backlog. I think that we're going to try to get the terms and conditions checkboxes. I mean, it's a gardens issue, but I hope that's done this sprint. Gabby seems to be on top of it, mostly pushing through the give us side, but I would put it in the sprint backlog. I expect to close it this sprint.
Okay.
And then, and I actually think we'll also close the TNCs for the CV proposals.
Isn't that one just waiting for the check? That's waiting for the checkboxes.
Yes, but those checkboxes will be there, and we have it basically written out, and we worked on it all the whole hour just before this. So I think I think Ivy will finish it this sprint. She won't finish the challenger terms and conditions, which also needs to be done. It also needs checkboxes, and I don't think there's anything else that will be done this sprint.
Cool. Okay. Chewy, how are you feeling about comms?
I'm still not done adding some issues, but we can go through it. I already closed some and updated some others.
Okay, maybe we'll go through it. I'm hoping if we have time left over in this meeting, we can all do some Hatcher outreach together to encourage people to get informed about the proposals and vote. Okay, cool.
We can start voting now. Like, there are only 2 votes in the snapshot, and like it would be really cool if we can have more, even if it's early.
Yeah, I need to wait. I need to actually think about it a little more. So.
Yeah, I like to
But
hear
yeah,
the debates.
vote.
I have open my mind what I want to vote, but I would love to hear the debates and be more confident.
Yeah, I feel like that's the same way I feel too.
You're here.
All right, cool. So, comms.
Okay. So TEC Spotlight on One Hive TV. We just had a really nice talk with T-Wells this morning and the One Hive TV team, and we discussed on what would be the best route to promote like the TEC around its launch. Like, should we take a strategy for maybe like generating like some expectation before the launch, or maybe we should take more of a like the give us strategy that once it's launched, like let's go with everything and just like keep covering it and keep it as relevant as possible after the launch. And I actually wanted to ask feedback from the steward, just to listen to any of your ideas, but we were basically planning on doing like different short segments rather than like a big episode. A big episode could be like after we launch, but prior to the launch, we were wondering if we could have like some super like short insights into each some of the working groups. So we for these working groups we picked so far stewards, Gravity, SubGov, and Communitas for and also transparency. just to like put just like to put like more of the spotlight on like some work that is that serves like a more general purpose. In this way, people can get the TEC like in a much easier way than just like straight saying like, oh yeah, we want to advance token engineering. So rather than going that way, we want to explain step by step the culture, and then after this is clear, try to bring up like, okay, so this is how we advance token engineering. This would be happening. I think they're gonna start planning it, and we're gonna keep discussing this. But we are aiming to start putting content through OneHive TV by the last week of January. So somewhere like around the launch, this should be ready to go. And
I have a question. Are we talking about different content than the episode that was recorded?
Yes, we're talking about additional content for OneHive TV so that we can cover the TEC as much as possible.
I'm a huge fan, just my knee-jerk reaction, huge fan, and a huge fan of the idea of little teasers like that. I think that's great. Yeah,
that came up on the call this morning. So yeah, it's kind of like what Shapeshift is doing, but I would say that even a little bit shorter. So they are all like very happy with the result, and I'm sure it's gonna help us bring extra attention around the launch.
Okay, and then what about the one that he's sharing a draft with tonight or tomorrow? That one would still go out next week, right? That was the presentation of the dashboard.
Yes.
Yes.
This would be like this would be like a base also content like along with these like smaller like episodes or clips. This would be part of like this like pre-launch kind of a spotlight to the TEC.
Oh, so we would think about not releasing that next week?
Yeah, just in a way that makes sense with the rest of the content. So it's not like only putting it out there like next week, but also having a way to follow up with that. Is that?
Yeah, I just don't know. So the answer is no. It won't go out next week. It's going to go out at the end of the month instead.
Or maybe like the week before that, but somewhere like around that time that can give us a chance to build up to the launch.
Okay. I'll trust your judgment there. Sure, yeah.
Okay, and let me check on. I'm having some trouble with this. Oh, here it is. Okay, so after that, we have the orientation video. I'm gonna bring that to the product backlog. We have
can I just do one thing? So this is only for the TEC spotlight on OneHive. So this one's done. For the new TEC stuff, I mean, for the new OneHive TV stuff, we should probably just have a different issue for that, right? Or you want to like bundle it into this one?
No, I can start a new issue for this.
Okay, because it's like a different, like this one's done already. It's just a matter of like, well, the final post production and then distribution.
Okay, and also, okay, so the funding proposal. Also, I'm bringing this to the Sprint backlog. And oh yes, the 1078 retroactive public funding. It's not really communications related, but this, as you know, it's pretty much done. and I just added like comment here before closing the issue. I wanted to ask if we should put this 0.8 ether in maybe the laser tag multisig, or yeah, just somewhere that can be more accountable, transparent. I mean, I can hold on to it. I don't mind, but I would just rather have this, just like be in a more.
I would say send it straight to the laser tag multisig, and then I think it's a great idea. At least this is what Giveth is going to do. Basically, any money we have, we just make an LP out of it and put it on XDAI, and it's like boom. Now there's a liquidity pool for us, and I think that's also with the Gitcoin money that I have on my wallet. I think that's also just the best idea of what to do with it. Just make an LP pool.
Okay, so is the laser tag multisig on XDAI? Because maybe wrapping it for Gnosis chain could be a better idea. So I'll take care of that as soon as I spot low gas.
If you'd like, you could just send me the ETH, and I'll send the wrapped ETH on XDAI. I can be a bridge and just save you the gas.
Oh, okay. Okay, so is Grip Daddy good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'll include this in the issue as soon as it's done.
Yeah, and let's just be on a call to do it together, or something.
Okay.
It's more
Okay,
ceremonial and fun. And I miss you, Chewy. It's been too long.
Yeah. Wait, I miss all of my one-on-ones with all of you. It's been a while. Okay, so.
Quick question. Update. Sorry, I'm just going to jump in because there's just like Gitcoin is ETH as well, or Gitcoin is multiple denominations.
I'm sorry.
That's to Griff actually. The Gitcoin funding, it was ETH as well, or denominations?
It's all over the place. So many, and it's a lot of it's on ZK Sync. So it'll be.
And also, I think on Polygon after round 12.
Yeah. So it'll be. I think this will be another one where it's like, let's just find a human who wants to receive these funds, probably me, and then convert them into something, and we at least like record and make it transparent or something. Zep, maybe we could do that. Maybe Chewy, Zep, and I all got on a call and we record the passing of the funds raised before.
Sounds fun.
Sounds like a party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm down for this sprint. Let's do it.
Cool.
Okay. Token listings. Still getting there. We put that on standby because we didn't really have a lot of stuff to move forward. But now that we are close to launching the bonding curve, I feel that it just might be a better time to reach out to some of the people that we were talking to. Also, maybe I'll add for the CoinGecko listing. I'm gonna just add see if we can check in with the Giveth team, and they're more familiar with the process by now.
Yeah, talk to me before it's all submitted and loop me in with that.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, we'll need Vitor. We'll need Vitor to build an API for circulating supply.
Oh, okay. That's very good.
And I think we also need to wait until we get some LP tokens on HoneySwap. Like I don't see how to make like the bonding curve bridge to So maybe like after we launch, we get the LP tokens. Like anyone can do them. I'll probably do some, and then we just submit.
Okay, perfect. Should we include this in the sprint though, or should we wait maybe until? Yeah, I think by sprint 26, it might be more close.
Yeah, I
So-
think we'll work on it this sprint, but it won't be done this sprint, is my guess.
Okay, so I'll keep it in the product backlog. I think that's it so far. I don't know if let me just give a quick last check. And okay, so just I have a big doubt here. What should we do with the website after the comments upgrade? Like, what are gonna be, or what would be like a good damn, I missed the word. What would be the right process for any updates that the website needs? Like, should we integrate this more to Teams and make it more like just make it more accessible for communications, or is everything happening in a way that we can maybe like reach out to Christopher every time that we need an update, or what would be the best course of action with website updates?
I mean, I can give my thinking. There's two things, right? There's just the content, and there's like a CMS in the background. And then there's like the structure of the website. So for content updates, I think we definitely don't go to Christopher, because I don't think he wants to be the person that's doing the content update every time. But it's totally reasonable for a bunch of people in Teams to have access to that, to be able to update content. But for some structural change, then that's something entirely different. So I don't know. Yeah.
So
I think there's sorry, I just want to say that I think that there's like limitations on what content can be updated, and anything beyond that probably need to have a web developer update it.
I was just pointing out, I've been in several conversations with people about HubSpot, and we really do need to get a lot of this use of type forms and other kinds of forms from whatever it is that we're currently using to be HubSpot forms, so we can gather better information, and that would require some website editing. You need to put some code on the site. I don't know if putting code on the site, according to you guys, is a structural change versus a content change, but I think is something that we've been stuck on a little bit. I've had a whole bunch of meetings over months about HubSpot, and that question has come up literally every one of those meetings. So just FYI.
Yeah, I was also going to point out. Go ahead, Sati.
Oh my God. Yeah. Sorry, it's just fast. I have a meeting with Momanu after the meme party today to give access to him.
Yeah, I was also going to say.
Can you let me know of that one? Just to join you guys in.
Yeah, sure. I'll DM you. It's right after the meme party.
To give him access to what, HubSpot or the website? Content management system.
Oh,
HubSpot.
Yeah, it's HubSpot. It's what we voted yesterday, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Nate. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I just, the website is something that Jurgadas is right. We've been talking about for a while now. And really, like, I just kind of, I'm not sure why we don't make it kind of the focal point. The first informational piece of TEC that we offer people, and have that type of, introduction to newcomers. But that would require structural changes as well, because right now we have a couple people maybe, and it feels a little bit gated, and maybe we can, I don't even know, have a working group developed around it as well. But I just feel like there does need to be more integration within the commons.
Yeah. From a Marcom standpoint, HubSpot, whatever you're doing in terms of inbound or outbound marketing and the website are identical processes and need to be integrated. And so if you've got different processes for gatekeeping your website versus different processes for gatekeeping for your HubSpot, those things are out of alignment in terms of the actual needs of the marketing and communications part of the thing. So, and it's felt an awful lot like that for an awful long time. So I just want to bring it up again.
Yeah, I think this is like a what do we do with the website is something we pull into the sprint, and maybe we don't solve it here in this call, but it's something that we could start to talk about. And I don't know if it's a redesign or if it's just minor pieces updated.
I think it's relatively minor. Yeah.
I'm also thinking about maybe bringing Nick to the HubSpot team. I think she could really be like that more technical arm of that team that could give us a lot of support with it. So I could talk to her and check if she's available to do this. And yeah, I mean, at least any kind of changes or modifications that we need to do won't caught us off guard.
Yeah, it's just my view that, you know, whatever you're doing on the website, whatever you're promoting, whatever you're doing, those two things have to go hand in hand, right? So it's, you know, just different fingers of the same hand, really, you know.
Okay, so just from my understanding, is this like what to do with it, like how to, like, is the question, what do we want to do with the TEC website, or how can more people have access to update the content there? The second one, right?
Yes. Yes, like how can we have like plan A, B, and C for anything that we need to change in the website?
Yeah, I would say the overall thing is how is it to make those two processes be in alignment as opposed to the way they are now. That's what it feels like to me.
I think I'm a little lost now on this. Is it, so it's maybe like the process to grant access and then the process to make the updates, right? Like those two things.
Or I think what Durgaras means, and I agree with this, is that pretty much anything that gets managed under like the HubSpot like perspective should also take in account any updates that apply to the website directly. So this should all like be decided and happen in the same place so that they can be consistent and coherent with each other.
Got it. So HubSpot team, website considerations, all one team.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know, like, did I get that right, Durgaras?
Yeah. I mean, both access and updates and content and everything all needs to be, these are just two parts of a single effort. And right now they're very different from each other, so.
Yeah, okay, I understand now. Yeah. And I don't know, Chewy, how do you want to manage that? Is that something you want to take into the sprint, or do we open an issue and leave it in the product backlog to take into a future sprint?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I would like to specifically issue 1139. I'll keep it in the product backlog, and I'm also adding a comment here to bring all of these efforts to the same place. It might even be like a right move to rename the HubSpot team I think in a couple of sprints, so that we can cover more ground with this.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a mistake to go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna say that maybe I think I'm done with comms, but yeah, happy to hear any additional comments and suggestions.
I just wanted to update about the pull-up. So I figured it out. It's It's a plugin. I already put the plugin on Snapshot, and then we can make it work with this vote without changing anything about the vote. And we just need to create the POAP. Is it created already?
No, not yet, but Translators should be able to figure it out today.
Okay, so yeah, the only thing that is different is that we just need to talk to Snapshot on Discord or Telegram. They give a link, I'll post in the comms chat, and then send the proposal ID that I'll also copy and paste in there, plus the POAP, and then they do this process to make them one thing.
Okay, perfect. So I'll ask Translators to get the follow-up done as soon as possible, and yeah, we can follow up.
Cool. You're muted, Tim.
I was just saying, I see there's some things assigned to you, Nate. Is there anything that you want to bring in from comms to the sprint?
The podcast thing I have been working on. I have a couple of, let's see. Yes, just the podcast thing.
Oh, cool. Okay.
That's it.
I think there was Medium article, a forum post. What is the praise quantum rules? Medium article from forum post, praise quantum rules. Oh, right. All right. This was a medium. Okay, got it. And Twitter Spaces interview.
Yeah, I haven't had much support with the Twitter Spaces aspect of it. I think we're just shifting towards the podcast format, and so it's going to be educational. Yeah.
Cool. All right, cool. Livia, are you good to do SoftGov?
Yeah, I'm just posting this on comms before. Okay. Yeah, so Griff, Ivy just wrote to me saying that you guys went through something on Lego today that should be changed in the covenant.
No, not changed in the covenant, just added to the forum post. Because you have a link to the forum post in the covenant, right? You have like a link. And just saying that to her that we should post whatever when we have the terms and conditions finalized, we should post them to that forum post.
No, she just said there's a word of challenging the proposal and committing an equivalent amount of TEC tokens.
Oh, that is true. It's just not equivalent.
Okay, so removing that from the proposal.
Yeah, because it's not true. I didn't catch that in the covenant. I'm really sorry. But it's like our current settings are that proposing it's 200 wrapped X die worth of TEC and challenging is 400 wrapped X die worth of TEC.
Okay, so
I wouldn't put numbers there or anything, just
remove that, yeah. Okay, cool. That was right in time before I sent that to Victor.
Nice.
And I just put 2 issues on SoftGov, this print, because I really want to finish that, and I think it's going to be a big one. Wait. I put already in this print backlog just the Ostrom's metrics for measuring ecosystem health. So I put a few steps there. So set a list of examples of implementations in the TEC, define at least one metric for each principle, set a pace for revision with transparency. Then I added just Optimus and Ivy as accountability buddies there.
Cool.
And then host the fireside chat for the params.
Cool. Okay, yeah, that is a lot. That is two very big things. Let's just see. Okay. All right. So the one that we didn't do is stewards, and like I said in the beginning, I'm not prepared, and I didn't have the time to actually change to update it now. But let's see. So what absolutely has to be done? This one I can just close. Not doing.
And leave time for me. I have some issues too in common parameters.
Okay, cool. I think I can go fast. I think I need to add. I think everything that will be done is in here. This one probably is really now MS more than me. So let me throw him in there. Actually, let me ask him if he doesn't mind if I do that first. Let's see. The other thing I want to do is no, none of these. Okay. Oh yeah, this I do want to do for the funding and sort of timelines. One of our sprint outputs is, so we're all comms. Sorry, I should have gone over the retrospective actions in the beginning. The retrospective actions from yesterday's were all comms, and the one from sprint 24, then we skipped a sprint, is to have a future roadmap, so not to be so reactive. And I think this one speaks to that, and it's pretty fair that each working group should have a roadmap that consolidates into one larger roadmap. So really, that's something. These is all I think I could take on this sprint. All right, so would you like to go over Common Swarm? Oh, Common Swarm has stuff to do. Holy moly, do they?
Yeah, and I didn't even really put the fact that we're doing it 2 desk test deployments. That's on the board, but really maybe there should just be an issue like launch the commons safely, and part of that is doing lots of testing. But there's Common Swarm. So there's some things I need to tell you guys about. This one, yeah, both of those. Let's open up either of those. One's 1172. Yeah. So I need help. Who wants to help me write this? I don't have the focus to do this, but I had a hack sesh, we have to write 2 snapshot proposals, ideally today. This first one is I talked about in the community call. It sucks. Like, we're just not going to have the exact numbers to match the proposal. Last time this happened for the hatch too, but it was like, well, we know what people want, and the devs just decided. Here, it's too complicated, and so I want to write a post that basically says why holding the reserve ratio constant might, that's the shape of the curve. Opening the opening price constant, that's the opening price. That's fairly straightforward. Having the initial buy constant is, helps keep some things the same. Basically, the amount that goes in the common pool and the amount that goes into the funding pool and the reserve. And so, or do we just vary all 3? I need someone to help me write this. I'm not going to be able to do it.
I can type something and then give it to you today, like after after the party with Mo, Manu, and Chui. I can start typing.
Sure, maybe we could have a quick sync, and I could just download to you before you type it.
Oh, just before, I was thinking on taking it rewatch the yesterday community call where you say more or less what do you want, and then I type from here, and then we don't have to do 2 things. I think then I just sync with you and let's say, oh yeah, this looks good, Seb. I'm posting it.
I could even just leave you a voice message on Telegram or something.
Okay.
Because there's some certain pieces that I really want in there, and I just can't. Okay. I won't be able to. I can get it started, but I need someone to finish.
Yeah. Just send me that voice thing, and yeah, I'll get it done by today.
Nice. Okay, great.
Zeb, you're my
So
hero.
Yoo-hoo!
No, you're not my hero. You're the TEC's hero.
yeah, seriously. Okay, so can you assign that to Zeptimus? I didn't want to assign it myself because that's just where issues go to die.
So can I ask how that's going to work in terms of we're going to have a certain amount of time for the rage quitters to quit, or is it simply up until the bonding curve is implemented and that's the challenge?
This is the worst. Yeah, it's up until it's during the migration vote, but we're going to set we set everything at the end of the migration vote. So it like the final vote is on the 13th for the parameter set, but we won't know how many people rage quit until the 19th or 20th.
And so you just have to adjust the parameters accordingly to match the winning proposal as best possible.
Yeah, and there's the fourth option is do it to the best possible, but maybe the best possible might piss people off if actually everyone cares about the opening price, or everyone cares about the shape of the curve, or everyone cares that, there's 250K that's going to the initial buy. And so like, I don't know, it's kind of a mess. And if we want to keep any one of those constants, that's fine. And then no matter what, the devs are going to have to, the devs, me, Sam, Paulo, Vitor, and Nugget, we're going to have a hack sesh to figure out how to nudge it to the best possible solution. But if you guys can give us some, guidance at the very least, it would feel a little cleaner.
Is
And I'm thinking
this public meeting for that, like an open call to just kind of.
I mean, we can record it, but like,
Okay.
it's some pretty complicated shit. It's not like it's like, oh yeah, okay, we can tweak this and da da da. It's like we'll do our best, but I don't know that it's useful to have more cooks in the kitchen than we already have.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
And I was thinking this would be another ranked choice, quadratic ranked choice vote.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
But that. Oh, rank choice. Okay, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Quadratic ranked choice. You can still help with it though, Olivia. Ideally, we put it up today and have it end also at the same time as the current vote.
Is that something we want to integrate in the debate somehow?
We could definitely talk about it.
Is there merit for one variable over the other, or?
Yeah, there's merit for each variable. I mean,
Okay.
What's more important, the shape of the curve, and like, the economy set, or the opening price, or how much money goes to the reward DAO and the liquidity multisig.
Can you explain the the correlation with the initial buy? So more rage quitters, lower initial buy. That's it. So we start at like what I don't remember what we have, 60K or something like that, 250K. And as this number goes up, this number goes down. That's the relationship.
If we vary the initial buy, we can.
It's like take the rage quit out of the initial buy is what we're basically saying.
Yeah, I mean that still wouldn't work perfectly because we're changing the token supply as well.
Yeah, I'm confused by that. How does the initial buy factor?
So the initial buy is, so when people rage quit, they delete tokens and they remove wrapped XDAI. So varying the initial buy is exactly what you're saying, but it doesn't just solve it on its own. So like because we're also changing the number of tokens that exist, which the initial buy can't fluctuate. But fluctuating the initial buy can account for some of the wrapped XDAI that's taken away, or increasing the initial buy if not very many more people rage quit. would also things. But like, I want to, we can look at how many people have rage quit already and see right now that we would actually add a little bit of money to the initial buy, which of course would be a good thing, right? Probably, maybe not. Maybe that money should go to the funding pool and to the reserve. I don't know.
It's interesting. How clean would it be if it was the initial buy constant? I mean, how dirty would it be? Is, I guess, the real question.
The thing is, if we keep the initial buy constant, if we keep any one of these things constant, the other two will change, and we
That's
will
right.
have to vary it. We will vary the opening price and the reserve ratio to try to get them both to be where they need to be.
Actually, I misspoke, because what I actually mean to say is, like, how could you use just the initial buy to make that difference?
Because the initial buy only affects wrapped X die, and we're also losing token supply. So if we have less wrapped, let me just say, I agree. Option 3 is probably the last one. It's the one that no one should vote for, I think. But in the end, it's something that we will change these 3 variables to make the bonding curve as close as possible. So I think at least having it there also adds it to the conversation.
And what does number 4 look like? Number 4 looks like there's just the session where the decision is made to the best of the ability of everyone who's participating. And then there's no final sign off from the community. It's like we say we trust this group to make the best that they can based on getting as close as possible.
If number 4 will mean that all 3 of those variables will be as close as we can get to where they are, number 1 would mean that opening price and initial buy are going to be different, but reserve ratio will be goal seeked, and we will change the other 2 as little as we can to make them both close to where they were while the reserve ratio is constant. And it's the same for the 3 variables, right? But if we have all 3 variables loose, then we can, get all 3 of them kind of close to where they were supposed to be. And it's not, and the thing that sucks is it's not about the variables, it's about the outcomes of the variables, right? So what is the minting price after we add the exit entry tribute? That's, it's the opening price might be 63 cents, but no one cares that it's 63 cents. We're going to change that so that the, actual impact, that the experience of the bonding curve is as close to the winning proposal as possible.
Could we not just adjust the virtual supply?
I can't get sign off on that. I tried. But yeah, that's the other thing that we could tweak would be the virtual supply and virtual balance. But we might adjust. If I can get Sam and Paulo to be down with that, we might be able to use that to adjust to make the reserve ratio closer. But it's just those variables are so complicated. The impacts of them, the execution of it makes perfect sense, but the impact of it is a little dicey.
Okay. Good luck, Zep. Capturing all that in a form of post.
Yeah.
We know you can do it. All right. Should we move on to the next one? Unless anyone else wants to say any last things about that. Okay.
This one's along the same lines. It's not as clean, but at least it's cleaner to understand. So it'll be an easier vote to have. Basically, hey, guess what? Token freeze. When does the token freeze start? Does the token freeze start when the results come in and we make the hatch DAO vote? Or does it start 6 days later when conviction voting opens? or does it start 5 to 8 days later when the ABC opens, or do Sem, Nuggin, Paulo, Vitor, and I just tell you when it starts?
Will this
I mean-
will this vote delay everything?
No, I think we can. I'm hoping that I can get someone besides Zep to help me write this one as well. This one's very simple.
No, I mean
And
the other one actually. Would the other one delay everything?
what other one?
The one we were just talking about? Which variable
think-
to make?
I think both of them can end at the day of the hash vote. They should both end at the same time. They can just be a little shorter. We'll try to get them out today, and the vote time is just a little shorter.
Okay.
And these won't interrupt our snapshot strategy.
No, I think they can all be the same ranked choice quadratic.
Okay.
People who are long vesting will probably all pick one thing, and people who are short vesting will all pick the other thing. And yeah.
I want to ask like the obvious question. When does the TEC token exist?
It's not, it sounds simple, but it exists. It will exist when CV opens. So when the money goes to when the hatched out vote is over and it's executed on the 19th or 20th, TEC tokens exist. But they can't be bought or sold. It's just the vested tokens are locked.
And that's the
They're
fish.
created.
And those tokens won't change. So those tokens will be in Hatcher's wallets. The TEC token will be in Hatcher's wallets when the CV opens.
Number 2.
And then they can transfer them when ABC opens.
Well, people can mint them in the bonding curve when
That's
the
a
ABC
very
opens.
good point. Yes, thank you. Very important distinction. Okay.
Help.
I
Who
mean,
wants to help?
logically, I would say when the token starts to exist is when it gets frozen. That seems the most logical. Oh, now we have TECH tokens. As soon as the TEC token exists is when the freeze starts. But, that there's
but then it's like I think 2 and 3 make the most sense again, right? Like, is it when the bonding curve opens that the freeze starts, or is it when conviction voting opens and the freeze starts?
I think it's when the token exists. I think it's like the token was created and now the freeze starts.
In my opinion,
Yeah,
after the ABC, because even if the token exists, it's not transferable, right?
Yeah, this is the thing. It's like, there's a lot of stakeholders here, and
we're also talking about 4 to 8 days. So I kind of feel like maybe let's get it up and vote, because either way, it's not going to probably change too much, right? Whichever one gets voted in. So maybe, yeah.
I know I, for one, feel uncomfortable just being the dictator on this decision, So I would love a signaling proposal, and if someone wants to help me write this, I think this one is relatively simple and straightforward.
I can take it.
Yeah, Wonka, you want to make the forum post, and we can hack on that also today? Do you think you can get the forum post and snapshot vote up today?
But do you think like these votes should be at the same time with the commons upgrade vote, or it should have like a different voting time? The same time.
The same time. And this one technically could be later. We don't need it at the time of the hashed out vote. The other one, we kind of need at the time of the I guess technically both of them could be later. I don't know. I think we should just have them all end at the same time because it's just more of a cultural thing, you know, and in the actual experience of voting, vote for these three things. Okay, you know, and it's like, I just think that's way easier.
I have a pushback for this last proposal just because it feels like it's a variable of a variable. Like the vesting period is being decided in the proposals, and then we're talking about a hypothetical date of something that hasn't been decided yet. I feel like that sounds very confusing for people that are having to make a decision on the total vesting period. What if, like, since the proposals have different vesting periods, why this can't be a given, and then based on this given, people decide on these other variables instead of having two things that are like in the air and simultaneously.
I mean, the token freeze could start at any one of these three dates and be totally legitimate, is what I would say. And so then it's up to us as devs to choose which one is the legitimate option. And I think the token freeze concept wasn't clear on whether or not the freeze starts when the vote is over. You know, okay, we picked the parameters, the freeze starts now. Or, oh, the token is launched, the freeze starts now, and people can vote in conviction voting. Oh, actually, the token issuance mechanism, the bonding curve, starts now, and now there's a publicly traded market for it. So now the freeze starts. I think all three are very legitimate options, and I don't feel comfortable as like saying one is a given versus the other. I mean, do you feel like one makes more sense than the other, Olivia? I'm curious, which one you think it should start at.
Yeah, I agree with Tim that it makes sense that it starts when the token is created. And I feel like that's very easy for everyone to understand also. And then if it just feels like it would give like, I'm just thinking, like, how can people have an easier time making a decision? And then the vesting period that they could analyze, like, okay, we have a starting date, so maybe I'll pick this vesting period, or maybe I'll pick a shorter one. Like, I feel like this could also influence in the outcome of the proposals. And then it feels like it would take a little bit the meaning of the vesting period being decided in the proposals, like of that being a factor there.
What I would say is that if you pick number 2, then the people who buy tokens, like let's say it's Bolshevik's Gambit, right, which has a 12-week freeze. So the people buy tokens, the external people buy tokens, and effectively there's only an 11-week freeze if they buy tokens on the first day. So for our external parties, the freeze is 11 weeks instead of 12. And honestly, and if we choose number 1 instead, then the freeze would be actually, 10 weeks. Yeah, Tam?
The freeze only applies to Hatcher tokens.
Yeah, but it applies, but the external people, people who want to buy, who didn't participate in the hatch, let's say all the like the reward system, for instance, doesn't get tokens until number 3. So let's say that we wanted to reward all the people with tokens, right? The hatchers have 1 week less of freeze than they would for the people who earned praise during the time that the hatch was, during this in-between time. Then the freeze would be effectively 1 week shorter for the people who get the reward tokens. So like there's hatchers who have to feel the effects of the freeze, but there's also the rest of the market, which also feels the effects of the freeze. And when I'm voting on this, I'm like, I want to make sure that there's time for for us as a community to, pass proposals and stuff before the market has chance to, recover or whatever. So like, I feel like both perspectives have value, and I don't think it's as clear cut as you think. But hopefully, I just need community signaling, and then we go with that. Because otherwise, I feel like we're doing the technocracy thing.
But then, like on the communication strategy, should we promote the 3 votes this weekend?
I think we can just say go vote on snapshot/T Commons. There'll be 3 votes there. But if I'm alone on this, if everyone else in here says that they're going to vote for number 2, then let's not do this vote. Let's cut scope. If there's like 2 dissenters in this call, there's a lot of voting power in this call right now. So if there's 2 dissenters, then I want to make this vote. Does that sound fair? Because I would also vote for number 2. Just so you know, like I'm not against like your vision, you guys, Olivia and Tam. I actually agree, but I don't want to make more work if it doesn't need to be made.
I'm for number 2 as well.
I like 3.
We got 1. Vi, do you have an opinion?
Oh, he just
Nate?
joined.
Oh, sorry.
I just opened.
Sorry, Vi. Nate, Chewy, do you guys have opinions?
Yeah, I think 2 is my preference.
I guess the way I'm looking at this is like, it's really outstanding to allow these decisions to be made by the community. However, it's so technical and complex that to understand this, you almost have to be in this call right now. So it's almost like, here, community, vote on this thing that you're not going to understand.
I think this one is simple. It's like, does the freeze start on the 13th, the 19th, or the 25th?
Well, we all looked at it, and now we've been talking for 20 minutes about the differentiations of each. So it's sort of like, what impact does it have if it's the CV versus the ABC, and what does that mean for the external? So it's sort of like, I'm not against us putting this up to vote and seeing what happens, but it can be more confusing than less confusing for the community. But it also sends that signal that like, these are community decisions to make, not developer decisions, I guess, to make.
Yeah, and I guess learning from the past experience, maybe we should just have a post with the pros and cons of each one and put it for community vote. If this has been like a controversial topic in this call so far.
Chewy, if everyone in this call is like number 2 is the right answer, then I don't think we need to make a vote. But Chewy and Lauren, do you guys have opinions?
I would support number 2. Maybe I don't. I'm like 70% sure. But yeah, like if there is gonna be like more discussion, I would also be open to considering other possibilities. But yeah, like 70% sure on number 2.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like a forum post would also be interesting from like an educational standpoint, and like have just like people learn a little bit more about token freeze and token bot. But I think, I don't know, I feel pretty neutral on whether or not we need to make more work or not. I would be okay with it being number 2.
Is that what you would pick as well?
I jumped in late, so I didn't hear all of the context. But when I'm like, oh, when CV opens, and I just like think about it off the top of my head, it seems appropriate. But I would read the forum post and maybe change my mind. But
Wonka Durgadas?
I'm all for number 4.
I think that we have made like a big effort to educate the community for the common subgrade vote, and like making this at least without the same education effort or an educational effort could be not so good. So I think like if we're gonna do the vote, maybe do another week. But if we are to decide now, I would say two. Option number two. I think it's good.
And Durgadas.
Well, I'm really interested in this number 4 option. So if you guys are if is it Griff, Sam, and Paulo and Nugget and Vitor? You guys are the one who built this whole thing. The fact is, I'd like to know where these people weigh in on this. What is the consensus among that group about this thing, right? Is there a consensus? Are these 3 options coming from the fact that you guys don't agree on which thing that is, right? So that's what I'm trying to figure out.
It definitely came out that we were talking about it, and it's like, oh yeah, good point. When does it start? Does it start when the ABC opens, or does it start when the vote's over? We didn't even really think about the CV opening. We weren't sure if it started on the 13th or the 24th. Because it's completely, like, in the code, it's just a completely, like, we just say the dates that the freeze ends and the thaw ends. So we just pick the dates.
What have we been telling people in all of these param parties that we're going to do with this?
That's the thing, we haven't.
I see. So all of that discussion that we had about all of this, there was never a time when we were saying
we didn't really think about the fact that the deployment would take 2 weeks.
Got it. Okay. That explains what's going on. Okay. Yeah, so it seems like a voting thing then. So I'd be back to well, I guess would want to vote, on the first 3, really.
Okay. It sounds okay. I feel enough advice process. I would like to go forward with trying to make this forum post. And Wonka, you're gonna help me write that out?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, great. The other things that I'm working on are this other one's really important. Crap, we only have 2 minutes left. And then the debate starts. But please, Zeptimus, I would love to. No, not the ABC front end. It's actually not common swarm. It's parameters. Zeptimus, the doodle. I just gave a check to the doodles, and there's one that everyone likes, and yeah, cat herding the set param party calendar. Can you open it? It's lower first winners. I'm gonna host one on Monday at 6 p.m. And Zep, I don't know if you can do Tuesday morning. Well, at least Costa Rica time.
Yeah, I mean, what time is in Europe? Probably, yeah. If it's not blocked by any TEC activity, yeah, sure.
It was on your
Okay.
I think it's 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Yeah, fantastic.
Okay, so that's and then I would love it if we could like announce those dates and also like tweet the doodles with it and saying, hey, we're trying to be diverse, and here's one tweet that says like, hey, are you in the EU or Asia, and like it's hard to meet the other times for the debates, come to this fireside chat, and if you want to help us pick the next one, vote on this doodle, right? And same for each of them. I would really love that because not very many people are voting on these other 2 doodles for picking times for fireside chat outside of EU-US hours. And then the other thing on that is I need people who will agree to sponsor the proposals on Monday for the debate on Monday. Right now, I only have 1 person signed up. Thanks.
Yeah. So I would love if somebody else could defend 420. I have school pickup and I already skipped it today to do the AMA. So it's going to be really tough for me.
I'll defend 420.
Yes, thanks, Nate.
Just put it up on the there's a spreadsheet linked in this issue. Make sure to put your name on the spreadsheet.
Okay.
Okay. I don't see the issue, but I do believe our debate has started.
Yeah, I'm going to just go over there and make sure people know to come there.
Okay, we'll see you there in a minute.